Good morning and welcome to Perspectives Unlimited this morning, right here on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. We're reaching you live from Wells Broadcasting House along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Perspectives Unlimited is that platform where we go beyond the news to help you make sense of some of the stories across our various national dailies. Good morning to you as we bring you the daily dose of newspaper review this morning. So, together with the analyst in the studio this morning, we will be delving into our various national dailies and a bit to keep you abreast about happenings all around Nigeria. My name is Toluwaleke Alli. This morning we're live on Facebook, so you can watch us live on Facebook and drop your comments as we go on the show this morning. Our Facebook page is at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. So drop your comments as we go on the show this morning. Feel free to share with your friends and family members to also be a part of the show. Good morning once again and welcome. Let's check out the front pages across some of our national dailies this Wednesday morning. On the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning, today Wednesday, 10th of September 2025, above the masthead, Nupeng suspends strike as Dangote accepts union's demands. That's on page 23 of the Punch newspaper. 31 states' domestic debt hits 2.57 trillion naira. That's also on page 23. 2027 presidency, Jonathan splits South-South PDP, and that's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. No immediate plan to implement fuel surcharge. That's according to the federal government, and to read more on that, check out page 24. The lead story on the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning. Doctors to decide on nationwide strike today. And it has two riders. NARD's NEC meets to review government's response to demands. NAMED decries $1 billion yearly spending on medical tourism. Tinubu restates commitment to health sector transformation, vows to end hospitals' power crisis with hybrid solutions. That story can be found on pages 7 and 29 of the Punch newspaper for this morning. PDP. SANs protest as Senate blocks Natasha's return. That's on page 18. 5 soldiers, terrorists feared killed in Zamfara clash. That story is also on page 18 of the Punch newspaper. Osun kingmakers reject move to dethrone jailed monarch, and that's on page 29. Vehicle theft. 3 Nigerians jailed 96 years in Ghana. The story can be found on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. And the final story on the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning: South Africa dent Eagles World Cup hopes after stalemate. That's on page 31 of the Punch newspaper this morning. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper for this morning: PDP, Labour Party, others flay Senate's move to stop Natasha's resumption. That's on page 3. Delta slashes dialysis costs, expands health reforms. That can be found on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. Nupeng suspends strike as Dangote agrees to unionize the workers. That can also be found on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Federal government under pressure as DMO blames foreign exchange, global shocks for rising debt. And that's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Nepal on edge as PM, key ministers resign over alleged graft, social media ban, and that's on page 6. Flight delays, disruption. NCAA summoned domestic airlines to Abuja, and that's on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Reps film summoned minister over Abuja Kaduna rail derailment, and that's on page 30. No immediate plan to implement 5% fuel tax, says Edun, amid pushback by OPS CSOs, and that's on page 16. Federal government overhauls social register to support over 70 million citizens, and the story is on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper for this morning. And those are the stories on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Moving on to the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper: we won't implement fuel tax now. That's coming from Oyedele, and the story is on page 12 of the Daily Trust newspaper. The lead story on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper: how flood swept away 2 sisters, others in Zaria. The story begins on the front page and continues on pages 3 and 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Female accountant found dead inside car in FCT, and that's on page 28. Condemnations as Israel military hits Hamas leaders in Doha. That's on page 32 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Nigeria's 2026 World Cup hopes uncertain after South Africa draw, and that's on page 35 of the Daily Trust newspaper for this morning. DSS resolves Nupeng Dangote Group rift, strike suspended, and the story is on page 31 of the Daily Trust newspaper. They also feature stories on ways to recover funds sent to a wrong account. That's on page 33. And why suicide is becoming common. That's page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And these are the stories across the front pages of some of our national dailies for this morning. All right, so joining me on the show this morning is Chukwemeka Manachi. So good morning, Chukwemeka.
Good morning, Tolu.
Okay. All right, so let's begin with the lead story on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Doctors to decide on nationwide strike today. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors will today, Wednesday, hold its National Executive Council meeting to determine its next line of action on a pending ultimatum to the federal government. The association had earlier issued a 10-day ultimatum to relevant government agencies, warning that members would embark on a nationwide strike if their demands were not met. The threat comes amid mounting pressure on Nigeria's fragile public health system, which is already grappling with a shortage of doctors, poor infrastructure, and overcrowded hospitals. Resident doctors, who constitutes the majority of the medical workforce in teaching and specialist hospitals, have repeatedly gone on strike in recent years over unpaid wages, poor welfare, and inadequate working conditions. Experts warn that another shutdown could cripple healthcare delivery, forcing patients to seek expensive private care and worsening health outcomes nationwide. And in a communique that was issued on the 1st of September and signed by the NARD president, Dr. Tokpe Oshundara, and the general secretary, Dr. Oluwashola Odumbaku, as well as the publicity and social secretary, Dr. Omoha Mobi, the doctors demanded immediate payment of the outstanding 2025 Medical Residency Training Fund, settlement of 5 months arrears from the 25 to 35% consolidated medical salary structure review, and other long-standing salary backlogs. They also demanded for the payment of the 2024 accoutrement allowance arrears, the prompt disbursement of specialist allowances, and the restoration of the recognition of the West African postgraduate membership certificates. All of these, are the demands of the National Association of Resident Doctors. This is, coming as the president has also made a vow to, end the hospital's power crisis here in Nigeria. He reaffirmed his administration's commitment to overhauling Nigeria's health sector, with strong emphasis on tackling the persistent power supply crisis crippling the nation's hospitals. And this was said when the president was represented by the Secretary to the Government of Federation, Senator George Akume, at the National Stakeholders Dialogue on Power in the Health Sector just yesterday. And, the president declared that no Nigerian should lose their life because of electricity interruptions in medical facilities. But yet, part of the demands of the doctors were not addressed. And just as experts have said, right now, Nigeria cannot afford a shutdown in the health sector. But it feels like, there are lots of parastatals that, pretty much threatening to go on strike. The health sector gave ultimatum, ASUP gave ultimatum, ASU gave ultimatum. How long do we want to continue with
because, there's one thing I want us to really understand here, that we thank God that we have averted one strike, that of Nupeng
strike.
Yeah, when the SS waded in and Dangote establishment was compelled to do the needful, because they understood clearly that they don't need to, that there must be unionism in every establishment, whether you like it or not. It is one of the labor laws, and is even enshrined in our own constitution. So the government they did the needful, and we thank God, because I was a little bit scared that children are coming back to school on Monday in Oyo State, though they have resumed in Lagos. And we don't want to a situation where parents will be trekking to school with their children. And thank God that they have been able to suspend that. Yes, let's look at the promises of the president, his vow that the overhauling of Nigeria's health sector, because of the threats from the medical practitioners. The president's vow to me is no vow. As far as he is not using our health facilities, there is nothing anybody that is reasonable enough will do about that vow. If you are using the thing which you have vowed to amend or to spend money on it, then we take you serious. But as far as we are not using it, I see it as a promise made over a bottle of beer, because you are not going to keep that promise because you are not using it. If you are using that facility, you will understand what the citizens are going through. And I'm calling upon medical practitioners, those who have given the ultimatum, not to go on strike, because at the end of the day, the everyday people, the citizens of this country will bear the brunt. So it is even laughable. You just Ethiopia, that small country, just inaugurated the first Africa's largest electricity dam. Hydro. And so why are they doing this? They want to power their nation. What are we doing here? We are just increasing electricity tariff without increasing services to the people. There is no way hospitals can function. Do you know how private hospitals are going through a lot? Because if you hear the bills, electricity bills they give them, you begin to wonder what will they charge in order to defray the cost of what they are paying on electricity bill alone. Our president will only be taken serious if he is using our health facilities. Then if he's making a vow that, look, I will overhaul it, everybody will now say, yes, the president is going to overhaul it. But as far as he's not using it, there are so many things we have said in this country that we didn't follow up and nothing happened. So I'm not excited about the vow from the president that he will overhaul the healthcare system. I'm not excited. The government functionaries don't use our healthcare. Some of them travel abroad because of eczema and toothache. And you are promising citizens that you are going to overhaul who takes you serious? Nobody. If you are using it, I will say, okay, he's going to do the needful. He's going to actually do what he has said. But as far as he's not using it, he's not bothered about it. So it is left for the citizens. That's why I'm appealing to our medical practitioners that they should not go on strike. ASU is threatening. Many people are threatening. Why are they threatening? Because government is not doing what it ought to do. Some of these people are not happy that they want to go on strike. They are not happy. But if the government refuses to do what it ought to do, what do you expect them to do? Because strike appears to be the only language government understands, and which is not normal. If things are working seamlessly, if things are going the way they should go, why should somebody stay at home, say I'm not going to work because government promised to do this and they didn't do it? It's not normal. And we continue going this route every now and then. And who bears the consequences? Ordinary citizens. People who cannot even imagine if this medical doctor should go on strike. Overcrowded hospitals, like you just mentioned. Remember that this hospital thing, this healthcare thing, has been the main reason why we have had so many. When Babangida took over from Buhari, he mentioned it. I listened to the broadcast. Our hospitals have now become mere consulting clinics. That is the usual refrain. Till today, have we changed? Have we moved away? Have we upgraded our healthcare facilities? We have not, because those that we claim to be our leaders are not using it. Once they start using our healthcare facilities, we will not be where we are today. When I was growing up, when we had these people around and everything, we paid little or nothing to have access to healthcare facilities. They will come to you. You don't even need to go to them. They go to communities and they look at. That's why some people are asking that can't these people come back and colonize us again? Because we don't know what we are doing. They will come to school. All the children in the school. That was the time they will give you this injection on the left. They will press the machine and put something like a gun on your arm. Very painful. You understand? They will immunize all the children in the school. Go to communities. You see them carry them. You see, the health system was working. Women were not dying like they die now. Imagine in this present time, high mortality as a rate.
Maternal death.
Yes, maternal death all over the place. You understand? And yet we are imagine malaria still killing people in Nigeria of today. Malaria. And yet, we are making a vow. Malaria, ordinary malaria. And this gives room for all these fake drug producers to have a field day. Because they know if our government officials, elected officials, there was a guy that came up, I think in Ogun State, I've forgotten his name. He sponsored a bill that if you are in government, you should use government, you should use our hospitals in Nigeria. I knew that that bill will not fly. They struck it down. You know, because they know that this thing is not, why are they afraid? I asked an elderly man, he said, you know why they go abroad, that they don't trust our people, that their enemies may want to go and bribe the doctor to kill them.
But so far, we've spent $1 billion, over $1 billion on medical tourism. And this is part of the...
They drain on our economy. Do they care? They don't care. If you put your house in order, why must you go seek for medical attention elsewhere? And you are making a vow. That's what I'm saying. You see, if you put your house in order, Tolu, if you have a husband, he gives you money to cook food, and he doesn't eat your food, how do you feel? He goes outside to eat your food. You as a woman, will you be happy? That's what they do to us. You give us money. You say you have spent money to upgrade medical facilities in Nigeria, and you are seeking for medical attention outside. What does that? You are a hypocrite. You are not doing what you're supposed to do. The good book says we shall know the truth, and the truth shall set us free. That is it. You understand? If you patronize what you are sponsoring, that's a different thing. We know that, oh, you have good intentions. But since you are not using it and you are making promises, then why are you not using it if it is good? Are we not all human beings? We are all human beings. We have a shared, as a humanity. The fact that you are elected as a senator, as a House of Rep, does not give you two heads. No, you have one. And if you are providing medical facilities for us, why are you using the one outside Nigeria? If what you are providing at home is good. That's why I use that analogy as a woman and a husband.
All right, you can join the conversation this morning by calling the phone lines 0916-893-1000, 0916-893-1000, or 0915-333-4893. 0915-333-4893. And you can also call 0911 3333 893, 0911 3333 893. Those are the phone lines to call to be a part of the show this morning. Drop your WhatsApp messages on 0915 4999 893, 0915 999 893, or drop your comments on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. So drop your comments on Facebook as well this morning, and we will be sure to take your comments. All right, so let's move on to other stories. The Nigerian Tribune newspaper now, where the suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has been told that she can't resume yet by the National Assembly. And, you know, this has brought quite a number of reactions. Our political party, PDP, has also weighed in on the matter. SERAP has weighed in on the matter, as well as, you know, different civil society organizations and the SANs as well. They are saying, why exactly would the NAS say that she can't resume after she has finished serving a suspension? So, what's your take on this?
National Assembly is almost a cult. You understand? Because and that goes to tell you how we are ruling as a country. Lack of respect for the rule of law. You understand? And we have, I keep saying it, bigmanism. Yes, I am the one in charge, and there's nothing you can do, irrespective of what. That's why some of our court pronouncements are just ink on paper. Nothing. You understand? And these people know that exactly it is ink on paper, and there's nothing anybody can do. This woman, you suspended this woman. You remember all the hula baloo, everything surrounding her suspension and the back and forth games they were playing all over the place. Now she has finished her sentence, and she wants to come back, and you are telling her that she cannot come back. And tomorrow, you want to project Nigeria as a country where there is law and order. And you want investors to come to such a country. You want people to come to a place where there is nothing like law. Even the laws are there and they are not obeyed. You see, there are so many ways we demarcate this country by our leaders. They demarcate this nation. Medical tourism is one of them. When you, as a leader, is seeking medical attention outside, you are demarcating your country. When you suspend a senator and he has finished serving her terms and she wants to come back to the house and you say she cannot come, you are demarcating the country. And it's not only 419 or drug pushers that are demarcating the country. A lot of our elected officials are demarcating Nigeria. And that is why we are where we are today. If we are normal and people see us as people, they even obey the law of their country. This woman, what stops her from coming back? They are still looking at technicalities. Before you know it, now somebody will jump into it and say, he has to go and do this, he has to go. But the court pronouncement court has made a pronouncement. Why not obey that court order? And tomorrow, you expect people on the street that's why we have, you go to court, people will tell you, go to court, because they know that there's nothing there again. There's no justice in the temple of justice. So, let's watch and see, because it's still a game. It's still according to you journalists, it's still a developing story. We are still going to see how, where the cat will jump. You understand? But it is not a good one. It is not. This woman has finished her sentence. The onus is on us to let her come and have a seat, and and behave for the first time. That look, we are people that are under law. But when you do you do the opposite, it means that you are lawless yourself and you are making laws for people. Imagine lawbreakers making laws for people. Imagine how that kind of society will be, as we look like. You are breaking the law of the land. You are not obeying court rules, and you are the one making law, passing law for people. That's why I keep telling people, go and get your PVC. Get your PVC. I challenge the elite, who are some of the problem of this country. Because you are a big man, because you are a big woman, you will not go and get your PVC. You will not even vote. You allow Yalata and Mamoni Akara to elect a leader for you. They will elect somebody who is not even qualified to be a gate man to make rule for you, and you will obey as an elite. That's what we are seeing in Nigeria. They don't come out to get their PVC. They see it as a thing for the commoners. Then the commoners will choose for you because they are not informed. Somebody will give them pelebe. They will elect the person. Somebody will give them as a 1,000. They will put their vote for the person. And you, who is an elite, who has traveled all over and see how things are done, will suffer the rule of somebody, suffer the rule of touts, suffer the rule of people who are not even qualified to carry a briefcase. That's what we are seeing in our country. That's why I'm a great advocate for people going to collect their PVCs and making use. Nigerians must understand their constitutional right to vote and vote wisely.
All right. You can join the conversation 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, or 0911-333-893.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Yomi on 0706 616 5053. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, welcome back. This is still Perspectives Unlimited right here on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. And you can be a part of the conversation by dropping your comments on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page on Facebook. And you can also call the phone lines 0916 893 1000. 0916 893 1000. Let's pick this call. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Emeka. Good morning, West Radio. My name is Tony from Oluyole.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Just want to talk about the electricity that the federal government said they are going to install in the hospital.
Okay, sir.
I hope they will do it, because even the amount of money the hospital spent on diesel. I was in one of the hospitals at Oluyole last week and even 2 days ago. They are always on diesel. I imagine how many liters they will burn in a day. If they just use ordinary 100 liters alone, imagine that and the effect it will have on the cost of healthcare in Nigeria. The government should do the needful. And as Emeka said, they should use our facilities. That is when we know that they are serious about changing the narrative about healthcare in this country. We are saying the doctor should not japa, and they are not given any condition to perform here. So what do they do? So it's time that our president should be serious. And again, we the masses should be serious, because we are not voting. That's the problem. Like Emeka just hit the nail on the head. The elites are not voting. And the price a wise man will pay if he thinks policy is too dirty is to have a fool to rule over him. And that's the price we are paying. 90 million will pick their PVC, only 30 million will vote. Can you imagine what happened? So let every one of us prepare to vote in 2027 and change the narrative. Good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. 0915 333 4893. 0915 333 4893 or 0911 333 893. 0911 333 893. 0916 893 1000. 0916 893 1000. Those are the phone lines for you to call to be a part of the show this morning. Let's go into the Nation newspaper. Edu, no plan yet to implement 5% petrol tax law. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Alli revealed yesterday that the federal government has no immediate plan to implement a 5% surcharge on petrol. Edu, who specifically addressed reporters on the issue in Abuja, stated that the government's priority at the moment was to make the new tax regime beneficial to the general public. He added that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration was fully aware of the economic challenges faced by Nigerians and would not take decisions that could further increase their burden. Edu explained that the inclusion of the surcharge in the recently enacted Nigeria Tax Administration Act does not translate into automatic introduction of the new levies. And according to him, a formal process must be followed before such a measure can take effect. And he pointed out that the enactment of the Nigeria Tax Administration Act in June marked a milestone in Nigeria's tax reform journey. And he described the new legislation as Nigeria's most comprehensive tax reform in decades. The news about the 5% petrol tax that would be levied when it is approved, came out on social media, and a lot of people started saying, "How are we going to start paying 5%?" The new tax regime is supposed to ease our affairs, according to what we have been hearing. So why 5% petrol tax?
What Wale do is saying that a formal process must be followed before implementation is not true. If this administration is following normal process in whatever it does, we won't be where we are today. Because when the fuel subsidy was removed, formal process was not followed. If it were followed, we would have looked holistically at a lot of things that will definitely affect the people, as they did it in so many countries. A lot of countries, before they removed subsidy, they looked holistically at how it will impact negatively on their people. And they provided a lot of soft landing in terms of transportation, looking at so many things before ever they tinker with that idea of fuel subsidy removal. What did we do? We removed it by fiat. We didn't bother what will be the impact on the citizens, and we are still rolling in pains. And we came up again with floating our foreign exchange, electricity tariff, which has spiked the inflation in our country. And now that's why NLC is saying that 70,000 naira is no longer enough for them. But that is their own cup of tea, because they went to bargain and they didn't know that they are dealing with people that will not keep their words. Now you agree that you will not increase as the money on fuel. As soon as you signed 70,000, it was increased. Now, let's look at this fuel tax. Actually, is under Federal Road Maintenance Agency Act 2007. You understand? And what Oyedele, the man at the tax at the head of tax affairs, is telling Nigerians that they will use whatever comes from that tax 5% surcharge for infrastructure. This infrastructure is only the only thing they use to I don't know how to explain it. Infrastructure. What of the money we removed from subsidy? What infrastructure have we used it to build? Now, is it 5% surcharge that we add to what the one we did on electricity tariff? Governors have a lot of money. Is it this 5% surcharge on fuel that will add to what you want to use to do your so-called infrastructure? They are not telling us the truth. And this idea that is not going to be implemented now is the ruse.
Let's pick this call before you continue. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
Nigeria, don't be deceived. Once they just announced the task, like Nika just said that, while they are just deceiving us, you will just see they will start deducting it. Immediately they have announced it and they are going to implement it. That it's not going to take place immediately now, it's just a ruse. Just watch it. You just see they just start deducting it. And they know because the dosa in Nigeria, there's nothing we are going to do. We are going to accept hook, line, and sinker. It is already implemented. Just once they announce it, while they're doing is just using a different word for us. They are going to go ahead and implement it.
Okay, thank you so much.
So if you look at the now said is going, they want to use it to reduce inflation. Now they want to use it, the money coming from this such as on transportation. Now, if you want to use it, now who do you know that transportation is the reason why we have so many is one of the things that is fueling inflation. Because when people transport things from place to place, what do you think they will do? If I carry this biro from Ibadan here to Sokoto with 20 naira, do you think I will sell this biro or to I will not. I will add my own transportation cost on the biro. That is exactly, I don't know the kind of, I'm not an economist, but I know that these people, the elementary economists I know, this thing, they don't add up at all. They don't add up. We don't need this 5% such a, and remember when this thing came up, when Obasanjo wanted to do it, Tinubu was among those in concert with the Labour and the other groups opposed it. Now you are bringing the same thing which you opposed when Obasanjo was in power. You are bringing it again and you are imposing it on Nigerians. What they do is not telling us the truth, because at the end of the day, like this caller said, in a subtle manner, they will add it, and there's nothing anybody can do. We are being taxed and taxed and taxed and taxed. We don't need, we have already, there are so many things. Let them put money in the bank for you now, 10,000. Before you say Jack Robinson, bank has removed this thing, that electronic transfer levy thing. I mean, what are we, is it our business? The tax is too much. You understand? And people keep on piling more and more pressure, financial pressure on the people. How long are we going to continue to live this way? It's not right. This idea that it will take formal process before it is implemented is not true. They will implement it because we don't follow any formality in our country. The way Nigeria I know, I'm old enough to understand that there's nothing formal here. We do things the way we like because we know that there's nothing that people can do. This is not governance. This is extortion. Why extorting people? After we have tightened our belt, at the end of the day, there'll be no waste again for us to tighten our belt again. And yet, people that are telling us to tighten our belt, their stomach are bulging, and we are tightening our own. How long do we continue? 5% surcharge. If you go and buy fuel, you pay. Anybody, and you know the consequences. Those of us that go and cut our hair, we pay 1,000. As soon as they implement that thing, it's not going to be 1,000 naira again. Because these guys must survive. They add it to the end user.
0916-893-1000, 0916-893-1000, or 0915-333-4893. 0915-333-4893. You can also call 0911-3333-893, 0911-3333-893. Those are the phone lines for you to call to be a part of the show this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, my name is George. I'm calling you from Ologboyo.
Welcome to the show, Mr. George.
Well, I think there is a feeling of relief this morning, hearing that they have suspended the issue of fuel tax. Because as at yesterday, when I went out along Ologboyo here, most of the filling stations have started locking up their gates. And I start feeling very bad because we have passed through all these problems in the past. Despite the fact that we are paying higher than what we used to pay. Then the issue of telling us that they are not going to increase it now. It's not a promise. We should not rejoice over it because they have never been keeping to what they say. Edwin was there when the news of this thing came up. If he did not plan it, if he did not want to implement it. That type of thing shouldn't have come out at all, because if you have the feeling of the people, you shouldn't threaten them. They are threatening us with most of these things. Hospitals are suffering, establishments are suffering, companies are moving out of Nigeria because of these bad policies, and yet there's nothing that they are doing about it. The yacht that the president bought, up to now, they said it's not within Nigeria. And you are taking the money out. You paid it and you kept the boat somewhere. So many things, vehicles you bought, these things are the things that you are taking. Take, for example, this woman that wants to resume now, they said she cannot resume. They are saying the same thing about the governor of River State, Kubara. They are still considering whether he will come or he will not come. What are we in the military administration? We are not in the military administration. These people should practice democracy the way it should be practiced, so that the people will have rest of mind. Thank you very much, West Radio.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Hello, good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Yes, ma. It's Connie from Malakia.
Welcome to the show, Ruth.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma. Yeah, on the NUPEG suspending their strike, it's really a good one. But it's high time the federal government allow our refineries to work in its sense. Because I think they have done the needful. All this monopoly of the things won't be happening. So, and they should please stop politicizing all this as a big resetting. So it's really affecting a common man. They should please do the needful. So, and on the 5% tax to be paid on fuel, it can't work now. Because the country is really facing a lot of things. So they should know what will really benefit us from now before they can implement anything. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution. 0916 893 1000, 0915 333 4893, or 0911 333 893. Hello.
Hello, good morning, the radio woman.
Good morning.
God bless you, ma.
God bless you too, sir.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Chukwemeka.
Good morning.
God bless you too, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Benga Mario, calling from Apata.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Gbenga Mario.
Thank you very much. On the issue of the 5% proposed tax on fuel, I think nobody should beg this present administration not to add the tax. You know, remember, come January, they will start imposing some of those tax on us. And I think Nigerians should not be bothered about begging or telling the government of the day not to be imposing this tax. Because one thing about time is that time is a perfect gentleman. And when you are in position, you know, you are only there for a little time. You cannot be there forever. Remember the late former President Musa Yar'Adua. Most people are still remembering him for what he did while he was in office. Though the period he spent in office was short-lived. Remember, he brought down the price of fuel drastically. I can't recall the correct figure now. And for that alone, people were clamoring that he's one of the best presidents that has happened to Nigeria. And even in death now, you can never forget him. The same to Jonathan. Jonathan, people were clamoring that Jonathan should come back and rule. It was because of what he did, the simple act he had while he was in office. So let him do what he wants to. Let the present administration do what they want to do. Nigeria will not die. We will not pass away because of that. Of course, we will survive it because this one too shall pass. And on the issue of Natasha, I think Mr. Senate President should not be biting more than he cannot chew. More than he can chew, rather. And one thing is that you cannot be, like I said, you cannot be in a position for a long time. I probably see himself as a lord over those senators in that chamber. He's seeing himself as he's equating himself as arrogating the power Mr. President has to himself. You have in the first place, you don't have power to suspend for a period of 6 months, and you have done that, fine. And the lady has come back, that he has told you that 6 months has lapsed, that she wants to come back and be representing the good people of Kogi State. And now they are telling her rather that she has to go to the court because the case is in court. Who does that? This is an aberration, which I think. And one thing about, do you know that Kwabi is a lawyer? And I think as a learned colleague, he's supposed to know the good from the bad. I'm not surprised because once you look at, I'm sorry to say this, the former Speaker of the House of Rep, Kweli Madu, you and I know where he is now. We are praying that God will vindicate him and bring him out. But Akpabio should always know that he's writing a story about himself that will be read to win Nigerians in a couple of some years now. Do you understand? Okay. So I just pray they allow the woman to do the needful and come back to that chamber. And lastly, on the issue of the bankers and the call of the strike yesterday, well, it's a good one. We all knew that the strike won't last. I think the government should not ensure that people go on strike before they can settle disputes. So they should not resolve that we should go to strike before resolving issues. God bless Nigeria. God bless the National FM. God bless your state. Thank you very much.
All right. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. 0916 893 1000. 0916 893 1000 or 0915 333 4893. Hello, good morning. Hello. Your voice is really low. All right, do well to call back. 0911 333 893. 0911 333 893. 0915 333 4893 or 0916 893 1000. Drop your comments on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page on Facebook. All right, on Facebook, Oluwaseun Ruth says, "Good morning, Wells Radio. Come 2027, it will be between Nigerians and the ruling party because it's obvious this current administration doesn't know about governance, but only after the title, which is why I will keep imploring we Nigerians to rise from our slumber and get our voters' card ready to vote for personality and not political party." Thank you, Oluwaseun Ruth on Facebook. Adeomi Kazimadika says, "Good morning, well done from New Garage." All right, thank you so much. Quickly, there's a story in the Guardian newspaper where, according to the Debt Management Office, they've said that Nigeria is among the largest borrowers in West Africa.
And we have not stopped borrowing. We are still, Dino Malaya came up. Dino Malaya may have his own value. He is not always theoretical. You understand? He came out to say that one day the federal government will borrow from OPE. You understand? Why they will keep on borrowing? Because there is no accountability. I keep saying it. In a situation where people in leadership position are not accountable to citizens, they will borrow like drunken sailors, because they know that at the end of the day they walk away. Nobody calls them to come and give account. In a country where you give account of your spendings, they will not borrow like that. They won't. So that's why it's very easy to be a leader in Nigeria. Anybody can come from anywhere. Put your hand into the common purse. Spend what you want to spend. Some people will justify it. Abbas, the speaker, is now feeling so guilty. He's not shouting. And that's why people are asking him. But you are among those who endorse all these borrowings. He's not saying that he's scary. That, the money we are owing is too much. He's not saying it by himself. And that's why people are saying, but you are in the house. You are among those who endorse it. So what are you saying? If they divide how much each Nigerian is owing, you'll be such. And what are we doing with this money?
Reno Omokri said that the president has reduced Nigeria's debt by 16 billion dollars.
Leave that clown. Leave him. You understand? When we are talking of human beings, don't bring Reno Omokri as in the picture. He's working for his belly. Leave him alone. So the issue is this: when you are borrowing, and people people borrow. There's nothing wrong in borrowing. But if you are borrowing for something people can easily see, then they will encourage you to. But when you borrow and we don't see the evidence on the ground, and you keep on adding taxing people here and there upon all the money you are, and you said you are not going to borrow again, and you are still borrowing. That's why I said the vow that the hospital this and that, you told us you were not going to borrow, and you are still borrowing, and we are even you are about to surpass what even Buhari borrowed, and yet you are taxing citizens here and there. Everything is being taxed. Tolu, there is nothing wrong in borrowing, but if you borrow for production, that is good. If you borrow for consumption, that is abnormal.
All right. So thank you so much for being a part of the show today.
Thank you for having me, Tolu.
Thank you so much, everyone who has been a part of the show today. Perspectives Unlimited returns tomorrow at exactly 6:30 a.m. As I would always say, wherever it is that you find yourself, always ensure that you put Nigeria out there in good light. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. I am Toluwaleke Alli.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individuals